Strike a Chord podcast. Music chit chat with your hosts Valentina Gikowski and Amla Piriakaba.
Hey everyone, welcome to Strike a Chord with myself and Valentino.
How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. It's a good day, nice sunny outside.
Oh, it's really nice outside.
It is really nice. It's a bit windy, but it's really, really nice.
We're going to talk about the pros and cons of being an independent artist.
Yeah, that's a very good topic, and it's a very big topic in amongst the music community here in Melbourne at the moment.
Yeah.
What is good and what is bad, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it is. There's no in between. It's good and bad.
Look, I'm going to jump straight to you. What are some cons? I'm going to start with the cons.
The cons.
We were talking about them just before. Some of the cons of being an independent artist.
All right.
Then we can end on the pros.
Well, cons are the struggles all the time, I think. Just constant struggles to get gigs and to be recognized, really, both as an artist but financially as well. I think a lot of the musicians, when we talk about live music, so let's flip this up. You got your live aspect and you've got your recording aspect, right? Because I'm assuming that every musician wants to play live and every musician wants to record, have some experience in recording and release something, right? So in regards to the live scene, unfortunately for the musicians, for the local musicians and your everyday musicians, is not looking very good out there at this point in time. The current climate isn't very good. But I think where we need to stop as musicians is stop playing for free, I think. And this is a major thing here in Melbourne, where I think it's flooded with musicians and everyone's trying to get some exposure and everyone's playing for free. But in actual fact, it's not for free. You're actually in deficit as a musician. So it costs you to go and play for free.
Yeah, and then it costs the other musicians as well, especially.
Exactly.
Look, I'll admit when I was starting out, I did a few gigs for free, but in hindsight, I go, oh, okay, that probably didn't help us as a community. And I get that when you're new and fresh, you're excited to just play, but at the same time, your choice in that moment can really impact the how people view.
100%, Amla.
And we've seen it. We've seen it in the industry. Like the pay rates have dropped, and like you said, a lot of people are just playing for free.
And I think, and we've had this discussion before, I know, a few times, and it's about the venues and everything like that. But I think that there are certain levels of musicianship and musicians. The ones that are starting off, and it's very hard for them, and I can understand it because I was there once upon a time. They want to get out there and have as much exposure as possible. Therefore, they're going to go and play for free. But I think that's a wrong thing to do.
How do they get that? I guess I guess for them, they might not see any other way to gain that exposure. Yeah,
and that's the thing, right? There's no other way of gaining exposure. And how do they tap into that market? How do they when it's already flooded with a lot of musicians?
Yeah, and I met someone, I think I mentioned to you, I literally met someone the other day when I was teaching, and she was saying she's got a new band and she's been contacting everyone, and everyone has, all the venues have asked her, how many years, what songs have you got, all this stuff, and she goes, I can't even get in.
Yeah.
Because they want bands, and she's an experienced musician, she's just got a new band.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's a new band. Experienced musicians, a new band. Yeah. It's like starting from the ground up again.
Yeah, but then how do you? This is a really good. Now I'm going. Oh, wait a minute. How can a brand new band or even experienced musicians in a new band gain exposure without playing for free? I mean, busking's an option.
Look, busking is not what it used to be.
No.
Right. So
no one has cash anymore.
You know, I don't really think busking's an option.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay.
As you said, actually, no, you're right. It might be an option for the young, up and coming, or the ones who are trying to crack into the market, because 1 or 2% of buskers make it.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're really young, like if you're, wish I'd had the brains. I mean, not the brains. The wrong, you know, the really young kids.
Yeah.
That played Twinkle Twinkle.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's cute. And I have to throw them more money.
That's
they
right.
Must make a killing, you know.
Yeah, but the other question: how sustainable is that, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
So you got that aspect of I'm young, I'm eager, I want to go and I'll play for free. I don't care, and this and that. Even if you're a solo artist, right? You're going to play for free. It actually costs you money, and this is what I might want to make the musicians aware that aren't aware. It actually costs you money. It costs you time. It costs you your time not only in performing the actual night, it costs you time in lugging your equipment, getting there early, and the most important of all, rehearsing before that.
Yeah, the amount of time you spend rehearsing, especially if you're in a band and you're doing gigs for free. Not only you're doing it for free, but everyone else is. And petrol, all those things, transport,
exactly.
The equipment you're using.
Yeah, exactly. And some equipment you might need to buy for a specific type of gig.
Yeah.
Right?
I've done that.
Yeah. You might need to buy a pedal or a loop or this or that to do a certain gig, right? And that costs money.
Yeah.
Now we know the financial climate at the moment in general is pretty shit, but like this has always been a problem with musicians, always. Now the thing with that and how to my sort of view on it is there needs to be some sort of a standard, and I know there are some music unions out there that are trying to put some standard around pay and stuff like that, but I don't really see any sort of improvement on the industry with that. No difference, because it's so many variables, so many individuals that won't do it because they haven't got money to actually pay for a membership.
Yeah.
Some musicians
true.
are just running on fumes of a wet rag, as they call it, right? But I think that what needs to happen is that, and I've said it time and time again, someone at government level needs to put in some sort of a either like subsidy or something that they can help the venues to actually put in money towards acts.
Yep.
Right? And now I'm talking about not only new people that are coming on board, new musicians, I'm talking about the established musicians that are here in Melbourne, the local musicians that are struggling as well.
Yeah.
And then I think the pay should be considered across, if you're an amateur musician trying to get into the pro scene, well, then you'll be paid in an amateur way, like an amateur wage. If you're a pro and you're playing, well, that's different because you've had all the years experience and you've gone through it, right? But in saying that, the other issue that there is your scheduling of everything, because now what you need to do is not only schedule your rehearsal time, book in your dates for performances, you got to schedule in your social media, right, to become somewhere or someone, and that's flooded.
So right? Flooded. I feel I delete posts sometimes. I'm just almost at the point where I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, I'm at that point already.
Yeah, like I post something and I'm like, I think it's pretty good, and then like 2 likes, I'm like, I'm going to delete this.
Well,
no one's seeing it. Like half the thing is no one sees it as well. Like it doesn't reach. It reaches 10 people.
So I've done a bit of research on why that is happening, and the whole social media thing is changing. If you haven't got a big following already, it's going to cost you money to get a following, and that's there's no organic apparently anymore. And that's probably a different conversation.
Yeah.
But in saying that you have to schedule that, you have to do some videos, you have to do some recordings, you have to do that.
It's just endless.
And it's just hard on the musician and
tax as well. Like, don't get me started on
that's if you make money though.
Yeah, that's
if you don't make money, you're not going to be paying taxes.
That's true. Yeah, and then not to mention, we were just discussing, we've been doing shows and even shows that where the entry is free, you still get some money, but it's not a lot. And even because like again you said the music industry here is so saturated, so I guess people have a lot of choices. And then you don't get many people at your gigs, and then you're just like,
it's disappointing.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah. Your morale goes down.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what do you think? What else do you think that is or needs to be improved? Or
Well, I love your concept with, I think the government needs to step up, definitely, and support live music. What I'm noticing, I haven't quite answered your question yet, but I'm noticing as well that people are opting. It happened to a friend recently. We almost had a gig confirmed. This is a group I'm in, and they preferred to go with a DJ because, of course, they're going to charge less. So this is happening as well.
And probably play for longer.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a shame. Look, I'm not dissing DJs at all. But we also want to keep the live music. People that have instruments that there's obviously skill in DJing as well, but I feel like that's a different kind of instrument, and it's a tricky one.
Yeah, it is a tricky one because then you got some DJs who were musicians.
Yeah,
and they've gone down the DJ
yeah,
and they're actually combining their instruments with DJing.
Yeah, see, I've done a little bit of that, but then it's not me.
Yeah,
and
but that's
but that gives
everyone's individuality, right?
Exactly, but then that also I'm noticing that's a lucrative market for weddings and stuff too. I've been seeing, and it's kind of cool. Like it is cool.
You should mention weddings.
Yeah.
So this is something I've been contemplating lately as well, and I've had a conversation with one of the projects that I'm in, where it's not going to be viable for us to do venue gigs and shows. So I've put up the option where let's do functions, let's do weddings.
Yeah.
And then I went and saw how many wedding bands there are, and there are thousands. So
wow.
So that's what do you do?
What do you do?
Like, what do you do?
I mean, it's great that there's so many people out there. But it's also overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
Yeah, the biggest con at the moment for me, like besides the pay and that, is not something I'm struggling with at the moment, and you can relate, you've just mentioned it, is you put all the promo in for a gig, and even if it's free or $10 entry, and look, the music's quite nice, a lot of great musicians coming in to help out too, and you get like 5 people, 6 people.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
And then it makes me go, am I enjoying this anymore?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? I may as well just play in my room and just enjoy my own music in the company of myself.
And I think a lot of artists are doing that now because a lot.
We know a few. We know a few that have said they don't like the gigging and the organising. They just record. Well, recording too. I'm like, well, I enjoy recording.
Yeah.
People, if they want to listen to it, they can listen to it.
And that's a good segue because
that's where
that's like the other thing of recording. So you're going to record. Then you need to promote that.
You still need to promote it.
So it's a vicious cycle, isn't it?
I guess you do need to promote it. I guess in terms of recording, you promote it, but then there's not the added struggle of having the band to come to the venue and rehearsals and things like that.
But you're going to be footing the bill for the production.
Oh yeah, that's expensive.
So you need to make the money back. So how are you going to make the money back? Gigs.
Promo and gigs,
right?
Yeah, album launch, which we did the single launch recently.
You're not going to get money from streams, that's for sure, right?
No, unless you're getting like $1 million.
People still sell CDs and stuff like this.
Yeah, no.
So that's how they're going to get their money back.
Yeah.
And everyone's hoping for that one hit, right?
Yeah.
Or that one
I'm
viral post.
Yeah. Aren't we all? I was just going to say, and merch. I'm even thinking about, a few people said to me, merch.
Yeah.
Even just have a couple of T-shirts or something.
Well, I did the USB sticks.
Yeah, I love that.
My albums on USB sticks, but the gigs have been quite shit. So the USB sticks are still here.
Give me like 10 of them. I'll just sell them.
But you know what? I haven't even promoted them online either. Like I sell them through my website, but I haven't promoted them.
Honestly, I think they're the coolest thing.
I think I need to promote them.
I think just show people what they are. Just even do a video of.
I think I will.
I love them.
Of all my 5 followers.
Come on. Look, I think I realized half my followers are probably spam followers.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, right? Oh. How do you deal with that? And a lot of musicians don't know that side of of the industry. But like in saying all of that, yes, it's a struggle and everything like that.
We're mentioning a lot of cons.
We are. But when you do get a gig, and we're going into the
pros.
Pros.
Yeah.
when there is a gig and there are a lot of people and you get that applause and you get that energy from the crowd, there's no other feeling like that. And that's why we do live gigs.
That's why we do the gigs. Yeah.
That's why we do.
Oh, we want to share what we've created with the audience, and it's right. that energy exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest pro is that you're creating.
Yeah.
When you create something that's your own.
And you're sharing it.
Yeah.
That's why it's been disappointing, I guess, when we've not had enough people.
Yeah.
Look, you can connect with a couple of people, but it's not quite the same. Yeah.
And that can, we're going back into the cons, but even though that can become disappointing, if you get over it, or when you get over it, you're going to go in and you're going to create something else, and you're going to work towards try different things, and I think the platforms, some of the pro of having a platform where there aren't a lot of people is that you can experiment with new things.
Yes.
So not everyone, you're not going to have 100 people, 50, 200 people saying that it's shit. You're going to have only about 5. But that's what it is. It's the creating, the creation, and the working. If you've got a band, working with your band, that camaraderie, that.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
We've had so much fun with bands.
We have.
My best memories of playing are with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're in the zone, when you have those gigs, well, we've had a few of those. You're in the zone and everything flows, and there's a nice audience there, and everyone's really like
buzzing.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
everyone's buzzing, and that's the best. Like you forget about how you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid, what the percentage of people are coming in, and everything. You forget about all of that on stage if you're a true professional, right? You forget about everything, all of that on stage. But when that finishes, everything dies down and comes back to the norm. And then you think, oh shit, how many did we have? How much did we make at the door? There are some situations where you cover costs and you're happy.
Yeah.
Because for me, to cover costs, include the first thing is to pay the band members, and then cover the rest of the costs, because I've been in deficit many times, right? And it's not a good feeling.
No, it's
not.
And
you think, why am I doing this? And then you do it again, and you think, why am I doing this again? I didn't learn from the last 50, 100 times. I'm doing this again.
You want that, because we want that buzz. We want to experience, because we know it's possible.
It's like a drug. We're addicted to this drug.
It's this drug. But yeah, like even the last, I'm still waiting for to see how much we got from the last gig that you were at. But I've had to definitely, because we're musicians and we know what it's like to not get a lot of money. I've had to just pay out of my own pocket.
Yeah, I've done that.
You've done that too.
Yeah, I've done that
because
too.
It's everyone's time as well.
But then that gets a bit not demoralizing, but it gets a bit you get over it.
Yeah, you kind of go, okay.
You're not getting enough money. If you were to get enough money to put in the kitty to actually pay everyone in advance and everything like that, that's fine. But then you're working it as a business. And as a business, if you haven't got money coming in, you haven't got money going out. Yeah. So it's going to fail.
Yeah.
But we look at it too much as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is our life. This is what we do.
Oh, we love it. And I'm going to go on a bit on, I mean, it's still related, that I've seen people as well, they've really, they've started with their original music, but now they're just, I mean, not just, I shouldn't say just, they've decided that it's more lucrative to be in a cover band.
That's what my next project is. It's a cover band.
Yeah.
And hence why I'm looking at going into the function circuit. Cover bands, that's what they do.
Yeah, they get a lot of gigs.
Yeah, I used to do it many years ago. It was quite lucrative.
Yeah, it is very lucrative. Yeah.
But you got a point. It's what the people know, and if you play something that's familiar to the people are
get excited.
Yeah, they get excited. They're just normal.
There's that call. It unlocks some kind of memory with. I know, because I hear the DJ play like Whitney Houston, like Whitney Houston, and then I go crazy.
Same. And it's that nostalgic thing that you know, especially those 80s, 90s, early 2000s. It's that not that nostalgia that gets people going. And if you're playing at a live venue, you can't go past not playing something that people know, because that's where people are vibrant. They're having a drink, they're having, they might get up and dance, and
they'll sing along.
And that's an important part as well, and that's a pro, because as a musician, you know the repertoire, and if you can play it in a way that you're combining your own stamp in it, and you're making the people,
that's true.
You've
done a bit of that. It's
that's what I'm doing
really
now
well.
with the project that I'm in now. But that in itself, I very much enjoy it.
Well, you're putting your own flavor on it. You're not just repeating.
Yeah.
You're not just taking that song and doing exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
With it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. You're
There's
putting
still
your own
a creative process.
Yeah. There might be a different chord structure, different structure to it. All up. You might mash it with something else. But I suppose that's the good thing about when you're going out and you're playing. And playing at a wedding is a different energy altogether.
Different vibe.
And
different.
I think at a wedding, you're much more relaxed, because the people are there not for you.
Well, they're already drunk as well.
Oh, that as well. But they're not there for you. They're there for the bride and groom, right?
Yeah, they're there to have a good time.
And they're there to have a good time. So you need to provide that energy.
Yes.
You need to provide the music, because there's no wedding without music.
It's true. It's interesting. I used to be, so this is something I don't tell a lot of people. I used to be a MC and DJ for weddings. I did about 11 weddings.
Oh, really?
I found it was very stressful.
Really?
I guess
MCing is a bit stressful.
It was because I was MCing, but I was also providing the dance floor music.
Yeah.
But the thing I noticed was the bride also has, normally the bride gives you a list of songs you need to do.
Yep, the running sheet.
The running sheet, but even the song choices.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I would see them leave the dance floor with certain songs that I'd have to play, and then they would assume it was the DJ's choice.
Yeah.
But as a musician,
that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a problem. But when I've played as a musician, like in a different way, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. Yeah. You get to play, like, I've done some solo stuff. Look, you get a bit nervous, but it's quite nice as well, because like you said, the energy, everyone's there for the bride and the groom. I used to do functions and corporate scenes for years, and I did with a 4-piece jazz Latin band, and we had some of the best gigs. Yeah.
People would come up and they'll be so happy and this and that, and I suppose the good thing about having that band and having a band like that is that obviously if you go through an agent or whatever, or how you've got your repertoire, and you give the repertoire to the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Right. And then they'll hire you based on your repertoire.
Yeah. Then that's less stress already.
Yeah. So you're playing your shit. Right. You're not getting stressed like you were with the list from the bride, but the bride and the groom might say, "Oh, can you learn this song, for instance?"
Yeah, that can happen too.
For the bridal waltz or whatever, or the entry or whatever, and that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. And see, and that's a good thing. And I'm really considering going back into the function circuit, because it's not. You're always dealing with different people as well. It's not always you're in the live venue, you're there, you rock the house or whatever, and this and that, and then you're up in the air about payment and this and that. Sometimes if it's not agreed on prior.
Yeah.
Whereas with the functions, you're going to get that much money. You're getting paid tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're playing this tonight.
X amount. Yeah. You're doing this. This is the time. Yeah.
And I know a lot of my colleagues, they do that full time.
Yeah. Well,
and it's Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, right? And they work during the week. So a lot of them are making a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. I guess that's a pro. And look, as long as I guess if you really still want to do your original music, as long as you don't lose that core. Like I realize I kind of do that with the mariachi. That's where I get all the corporate stuff.
That's right.
Make good money from that. And then I do my day job during the week.
So that, and that's how musicians usually operate, but not all musicians.
No,
right? Some musicians are just, they want to perform and they would just want to record.
Yeah.
But look, all in all, there are pros and cons. Look, times are getting tough, so you need to pivot with what's going on.
Yeah, you got to kind of be a bit of a chameleon and be able to adapt and change according to the current climate. Yeah.
And I think I think your ego's got to drop. If you're used to performing in venues and you're especially a front person, and you're not making any money, well, that's going to be a problem.
That
right?
attachment as well.
That attachment, yeah.
As musicians, we're very attached to. Well, we both know. We're just talking about how we get attached to. Is this event going to be a success? Am I gonna? Is it going to be full?
Yeah.
Am I going to play well? All these. It's sort of letting go of that attachment and enjoying the moment.
And enjoying the moment. Yeah. And I think that's, as you mature, you get to know that a bit better.
Yeah.
But that sometimes you have a sense of pride as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is very much connected with the ego, and your pride and the ego, but are two different things.
Yeah.
But they're often connected. At the end of the day, I think you got to do what you got to do today. And hopefully things will get better in the future.
Yeah. And the main thing as well, remembering your why you're doing it. Because we forget why we're doing these things.
That's so true.
Remember your why.
You remember your why. So true.
Yeah.
And also remember that you remember your abilities.
Yeah.
As an artist, you're there creating. You're there doing things, and it's much more about the money, and it's much more about satisfying people, and never compare yourself, because you're your own person. It's about instilling what you love, and instilling that sense of being, of being happy, and you're creating, you're doing this. When you hear something that you've created, no one else has done it but you.
Yeah.
There's no other sense of that. Whether you're songwriting, creating, recording, performing live, because no one else is performing at that moment except for you, or you as a band, and that is unique. Everyone's unique, and enjoy that. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Because of that lifestyle. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're artists. That's why, as you said before, we do it to share as well. So never lose sight of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But thanks, Amma.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good episode.
Good episode. And on that note, we'd like to thank our sponsors,
we would like to thank
musicproservices.com and Cake Eclipse.
This is I think it's a walnut, chocolate, and something.
Well, it is definitely going to be delicious.
Yes. Make sure you visit cakeeclipse.com. They've been there since day one for us.
Yeah, very very supportive.
Yes. And music services.
Pro services.
Music pro services. I've forgotten my own business name. Music pro services for all your recording needs and everything like that, and guitar tuition and so on and so forth. You've got a gig tonight. Yeah,
well, I guess this will be.
Good luck.
Thank you. Although this will air.
It'll air. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
What else? Have you got anything else coming up?
Bergie Seltzer with Jimena Abarca.
31st.
It's a Sunday Arvo. They're doing like a World Music Sundays. As you were there last week.
I'm going to come.
Oh yeah, Valentina's going to come in. Yeah, we've got I'm excited about that F minor song.
I've already got something together. So
amazing. Yeah, cool. Anyway.
Yeah. Thanks, Amla.
Thanks, Valentino.
Till next time.
See you soon.
Ciao.
The Strike a Chord podcast, presented to you by valentinoflamenco.com and amlamusic.com.